I told you that somewhere out in the dry fields of America, regular farmers are quietly pulling in more money from aloe vera than some Wall Street guys make in a year. And almost nobody is talking about it? Sounds fake, right? But out in parts of Texas, Arizona, and Southern California, a strange green rush has been happening behind the scenes. And the crazy part is, it didn't start with billion-dollar corporations or flashy tech startups. No, it started with farmers who were flat broke after droughts wrecked their land. Cattle feed prices exploded, and traditional crops stopped making sense. One old farmer near Yuma supposedly planted aloe vera on a tiny patch of dying land, just to experiment because water bills were eating him alive. And within a few seasons, cosmetic buyers, skincare factories, and health drink companies were literally calling his phone nonstop, trying to lock in contracts. That's when nearby farmers started paying attention. And man, once they saw the numbers, everything changed. See, aloe vera isn't like those thirsty crops that suck every drop of water from the soil. This plant survives heat like a beast. Triple-digit temperatures? Doesn't care. Dry weather? Still standing. While other farms looked cooked during brutal summers, rows of thick green aloe plants just kept growing like nature built them for economic warfare. And here's the wild part nobody on YouTube really explains properly. The real money isn't even in selling the plant itself. It's what happens after harvest. The gel inside aloe vera became a gold mine because American companies started stuffing it into everything. Face creams, luxury skin serums, shampoos, health shots, energy drinks, burn treatments, even pet products. Suddenly, this boring cactus-looking plant became the backbone of a multi-billion-dollar industry hiding in plain sight. One truckload of processed aloe gel could be worth way more than traditional vegetable harvests from the same land size. Farmers noticed that fast, and some of them got rich so quietly their own towns barely realized it. You drive past their farms and nothing screams millionaire. Old pickup trucks, dusty boots, sunburned faces. But behind those gates, massive processing deals, export contracts, buyers from overseas. Crazy stuff. One grower reportedly said the smartest thing about aloe farming is that most people still think it's some cheap drugstore ingredient, which keeps competition low, while demand keeps climbing every single year. That's insane when you think about it. And honestly, the timing couldn't have been crazier because Americans became obsessed with natural wellness. Every influencer started pushing organic products. Every skincare brand suddenly wanted clean ingredients. And right there, sitting quietly in the middle of dry farmland, was aloe vera waiting like hidden treasure. Boom! Demand exploded. Some companies even started fighting over premium aloe crops because certain soil conditions produce thicker gel quality, which means higher prices. Farmers figured this out and began treating aloe almost like wine grapes. Better land, better product, bigger money. Now imagine being a struggling farmer watching neighbors suddenly build new barns, pay off debt, buy extra land, and refuse to explain exactly where the money came from. Yeah? People started talking. Rumors spread fast. Some locals even joked aloe farms looked boring during the day, but printed money at night. And look, not every farmer became rich overnight, obviously. Some failed badly because they treated aloe like a side hobby instead of a business. That's another thing most people miss. Successful growers became obsessed with processing speed because aloe starts losing value after harvest if it sits too long under heat. The smart farmers invested in fast cooling systems and processing equipment. That separated the serious players from the amateurs real quick. And dude, there's another layer to this story that makes it even crazier. Beauty companies don't want consumers thinking too deeply about where their ingredients come from. They want polished ads with glowing models and soft music, Not shots of giant industrial aloe harvest, that a tiny seed, something most people ignore on their dinner plate, actually turned broke farmers into people flying private jets over their own fields? Yeah, sounds fake, right? Like some internet story somebody made up at 2 a.m. But stick with me, because this one hits different, real different. Imagine waking up in a dusty rural town in America where the soil is dry, tractors are breaking down more than they're running, and families are literally counting coins just to survive the week. No luxury, no comfort, just hope. And even that was running low. Now picture the same land, just a few years later. Giant green fields stretching like oceans, harvesting machines rolling like thunder, and farmers who once struggled to pay electricity bills, now signing deals that make Wall Street guys raise their eyebrows. How does that even happen? How does a simple crop flip the entire game like that? Let me take you right into it. Because this ain't just farming. This is straight up survival, turning into success story madness. That it all starts in places nobody really talks about. Small farming communities in the Midwest, where life moves slow, but pressure moves fast. Families there didn't have backup plans. They were the backup plan. Corn was king. Wheat was standard. But when prices dropped, everything dropped with it. One bad season didn't just hurt feelings. It crushed bank accounts, futures, dreams, everything. And then soybeans started showing up more seriously. At first, nobody cared. Farmers were like, yeah, just another crop. But quietly, something was changing in the background. Soybeans weren't acting like the others. They were tougher, more flexible. They didn't demand perfect weather. They didn't panic under pressure. And slowly, the land started responding. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Because this wasn't some overnight miracle. It was messy. Farmers experimented, failed, tried again. Some laughed it off, like, man, this soybean thing ain't it. Others stuck with it out of desperation, not belief. And funny thing? Those desperate ones, they accidentally became the early winners. Yield started improving. Soil health got better. And suddenly, buyers started showing up more often, asking for more than expected. One farmer literally said it felt like planting ordinary seeds and pulling out money plants. Not instantly, but season after season, like the land itself was learning a new language. But hold up, let's not romanticize it too fast. There were rough years. Weather still hit hard. Markets still played dirty. Some farmers went all in too early and got burned. Debt didn't disappear overnight. There were nights where trucks were empty, barns were quiet, and people questioned everything. Like, did we just gamble our whole life on the wrong crop? That tension, that doubt, it was real. You could feel it in every town meeting, every diner conversation, every tired face staring at weather reports, like it owed them money. Then something shifted globally. Demand. Soybeans weren't just a local crop anymore. They were becoming a global necessity. Animal feed, oil production, exports. Suddenly, countries halfway across the world were buying in huge quantities. Ports started moving faster. Contracts got bigger. Prices started stabilizing in a way that made farmers finally breathe a little easier. And when money starts flowing consistently in farming, things change fast. Not slowly. Fast. Now picture this. Same farmer who used to fix broken equipment with duct tape and hope is now upgrading machinery every couple of years. Same family that used to budget groceries down to cents is now talking about college funds without panic in their voice. And yeah, in some extreme cases, the success went wild. Land expanded. Operations scaled. Partnerships formed. And suddenly, you've got farmers not just working fields, but running agricultural businesses worth millions. And this is where that private jet idea doesn't sound so crazy anymore. Because when scale gets big enough in agriculture, somewhere out in the deserts of America, a fruit that looks like it came from another planet quietly turned broke farmers into guys flying around in private jets? Yeah, sounds fake. That's exactly what people said a few years ago when old family farms were collapsing, tractors were getting repossessed, and small-town farmers were barely keeping the lights on. Then out of nowhere, this bright pink fruit with neon green spikes started showing up in luxury grocery stores for $12 a piece. Dragon fruit. At first, most American farmers laughed at it. Ain't no way rich folks are paying that kind of money for cactus fruit. One farmer in California literally said while standing next to acres of dead lettuce crops. But then something wild happened. Influencers started posting dragon fruit smoothie bowls. Celebrities pushed superfood diets. Fitness brands hyped it like it was some secret energy hack. Boom! Demand exploded overnight. And the craziest part? Almost nobody in America was growing enough of it. That opened the door for a tiny group of risk-taking farmers who were desperate enough to try something different. One dude in Arizona sold his old pickup truck just to buy dragon fruit cuttings from a small nursery. His neighbors thought he'd lost his mind. Bro planted cactus vines in the middle of brutal heat while everybody else was struggling with water shortages. 2 years later, that same guy was pulling six figures from a few acres while traditional farmers nearby were drowning in debt. No joke. And once word started spreading, things got nuts real fast. Families who'd been farming cotton for generations ripped out their old fields and replaced them with dragon fruit poles. Some farms started making more money from 1 acre of dragon fruit than 10 acres of corn. Let me say that again because it sounds insane. 1 acre. More profit than 10 acres of traditional crops. Investors started sliding into farmers' DMEs offering partnerships. TikTok creators were filming million-dollar harvests. Luxury restaurants in New York and Miami were paying crazy prices for the best-looking fruit because rich customers wanted exotic food that looked good on Instagram. Suddenly, dragon fruit wasn't just farming anymore. No, it became branding, status, lifestyle. Farmers who used to wear dusty boots at gas stations were now walking around agriculture expos in designer sunglasses talking about exports to Dubai and Tokyo. Sounds like a movie, right? But here's the part almost nobody talks about. Growing dragon fruit ain't easy money. Not even close. Those farms look beautiful online, but behind the scenes? Absolute chaos sometimes. The plants grow like giant cactus monsters climbing concrete poles. And if weather hits wrong, entire harvests get wrecked overnight. One unexpected frost. Done. Heavy rain. Fungus everywhere. Some farmers lost everything trying to chase the hype. There were dudes maxing out credit cards, thinking dragon fruit was an automatic millionaire machine because YouTube gurus made it sound easy. It wasn't. A lot of people crashed hard. But the smart farmers? Oh man, they played the long game. They learned pollination tricks at midnight using flashlights because certain dragon fruit flowers only bloom for one night. Imagine being out in the fields at 2 a.m. manually pollinating flowers while coyotes are screaming in the distance. That's real. Some farmers hired entire night crews just for flower season because missing one bloom cycle could cost thousands of dollars. And then came the marketing wars. Farmers realized ugly fruit sold cheap, but perfect-looking dragon fruit? That's luxury money. So growers started treating the fruit almost like diamonds. Fancy packaging, premium branding, viral videos. Some even built tourist farms where influencers paid just to take pictures in front of glowing pink fields during sunset. America turned dragon fruit into an experience, not just food. And honestly, consumers ate it up. People standing in line at health stores, paying ridiculous prices, because social media convinced them dragon fruit